don't enter your Ramadan unprepared. You know what I always say is the success of your Ramadan depends on your preparation in Sha'ban. There's a well-known saying that Sha'ban is the month of watering the plants and Ramadan is the month of harvesting the crops. So basically in Ramadan, we are just enjoying the results of what we have already planted before. And I think that's a very powerful and very true analogy. So let me ask you one simple question. Do you feel ready for Ramadan? If your answer is not yet, then keep watching because I've made this short workshop just for you. During this workshop, I will be sharing 7 strategies to prepare for the holy month. I'll be also giving a few free resources away that you can use to better prepare for Ramadan. If your answer is yes, I'm ready for Ramadan, that's great. That means you have probably done more than most of us as a preparation. And in that case, these resources can still be useful to level up your preparations, inshallah. Now, today I have a simple challenge for you, and that is to move one level up from where you currently are. Let me show you what I mean with that. So here we see the 7 strategies of preparation for Ramadan, as I have discussed. And your challenge is to move one level up. So first, you are going to decide at which step you are. For example, if you are at level 2, then your task is to move to level 3. If, for example, you are at level 4, then your task is to move to level 5. So that's a very simple challenge for you today. And here below, you see the free resources that I will be sharing. So this includes a Ramadan watch list, a checklist, a Ramadan journal, and many more. So make sure to stick until the end, and I will be sharing with you how to use each of these resources, inshallah. But what if you are viewing this workshop a bit too late and Ramadan has already started? Then see this workshop as your mid-Ramadan reset, because we sometimes need that as well to do in the middle of Ramadan. We need to reflect sometimes, like, how is everything going so far? What am I doing very well? What can I still improve? So if Ramadan has already started and you are watching this workshop during Ramadan, just consider this as a mid-Ramadan reset for you. With that being said, let's get started. Bismillah. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. What's the first level of preparation? And of course, that is intention. There's a reason that Sahih al-Bukhari started his book with إنما الأعمال بالنيات. The reward of deeds depends upon the intentions. And I think every growth-minded Muslim, every practicing Muslim promises to himself this, right? Has a good intention before entering Ramadan. Like, for example, I will finish the Quran this time. I'm going to wake up for tahajjud every night. I'll become a completely different person. But why then is it still that we are failing, most of us, at the middle of Ramadan? And I think we can compare Ramadan very well with January. At the beginning of January, everyone is very motivated with his new January aspirations. But then in the middle, day 7, day 10, day 15, we start getting weaker, we start getting lazier, we start getting demotivated. And it's the same with Ramadan as well. We start very strong, and then one by one we get weaker. That's, of course, the problem that we are facing. But there is a big difference, of course, between January and Ramadan for Muslims, because January is just a normal month for us Muslims. But Ramadan is very special for us. So if you failed in January with your goals, with your intentions, it's okay, it's no problem, no one's going to blame you. But if you fail in Ramadan, that's not okay. That's a serious problem. Because we all know, of course, Ramadan is the best month of all. Wallahi, guys, it's such a beautiful month that we sometimes forget something very important. Reaching the month of Ramadan itself is already a blessing, because we all know probably people that last Ramadan, they were with us. Maybe they were eating with us, they were praying with us in the masjid, but this Ramadan, they will not be with us because they have passed away. And that's why there is a very powerful dua that I want to make before we start with preparing for Ramadan, which is Allahumma ballighna Ramadan. Oh Allah, let us reach the month of Ramadan, or allow us to reach the month of Ramadan. So now that we understand that the first step is to enter with intention, what is the next step? How can we make sure that we turn these intentions, these beautiful intentions that we all have, into real action and stay consistent with our goals? And the easiest way that I know of is something that I call digital fasting. And the principle is very simple, actually. It is you remove your distractions. Remove your distractions. And now, in a moment, I will share with you the two biggest distractions that we are facing, most of us today. Because distraction, something that I like to always say, is distraction. Distraction is destruction. If you are wasting your time on your distractions, you are distracting yourself. And another very important but very simple principle is that we all have 24 hours per day. So, for example, if you want to read 1 hour Quran per day, you need to ask yourself, what will I stop doing for 1 hour? Because we all have 24 hours per day. So if you want to read 1 hour Quran per day extra, you need to stop doing something else for 1 hour. Will that be, for example, sleeping 1 hour less for 30 days a month? That's possible if that works for you. Or, for example, 1 hour less on your phone, 1 hour less on the social media. The point is, we have to find out where we are going to find this 1 hour. How are we going to save this 1 hour per day? And basically, the two biggest distractions that we are facing today, of course, the first one, our phone. And what I do basically is when I work, I have my focus sessions, I turn off my phone. Very simple, but very effective. I turn off my phone, and sometimes I even put it in another room, so I have completely no distractions. You can also set for yourself, for example, a screen time. Or even if you are really serious about Ramadan, maybe you can sell your phone even. Why not? Sell your phone for 1 month, and after 1 month, buy another phone. At least you are saving a lot of time then. The second biggest distraction for many of us is Netflix. And I think Ramadan is a perfect time to just cancel your subscription. Because 1, you're going to save money. And 2, you are going to save a lot of time, which is more important. Because in Ramadan, we are trying to free up time, to spend that time on ibadah again. But what if you want to watch entertainment instead? Like you want to watch entertainment maybe with your family. So that's why I have made a Ramadan watch list. So this Ramadan watch list consists of around 7 movies and series that are more Islamic alternative. These movies are in line with our values as Muslims, and you can watch these alone or together with your family, maybe with your spouse, with your parents, and this will teach you and your family and your children some Islamic principles, inshallah, and also the Arabic language as well. I've watched most of the movies on the list, and wallahi, they are really beautiful movies. Of course, the movie Al-Risala is on that list. I think most of us have already watched that movie. If you haven't watched that movie yet, I think that's a very good starting point. You can go watch that one first. But there are also some other movies, like, for example, Al-Imam, which talks about the story of Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, who was one of the 4 main Sunni Imams. And it's another absolutely must-watch documentary about Mecca and Medina. And it's educational and entertaining at the same time. So I really recommend it. It's really beautiful, wallahi, guys. So check that out. Basically, that is now the second level of preparation for Ramadan. Now, what if you want to prepare even more? Now, then it is something that I call the Ramadan Challenge. Because Ramadan is meant to be celebrated together with your family. If you have kids, if you have a spouse, parents. Because you know, guys, actually, that's a huge blessing if you have people around you celebrating Ramadan together. Because here in the West, we have many new Muslims that have converted to Islam, and many of them are actually celebrating Ramadan alone. So can you imagine? You are waiting on the azan of Maghrib, and you are just alone on the sitting at the table all alone, and just breaking the fast alone. Or you are waking up for suhoor all alone. I think that's very tough. So if you have family around you during Ramadan, that's a huge blessing. And of course, Ramadan is meant to be celebrated together as well. It's not just about being committed, being disciplined, and full of ibadah, inshallah, but it's also a moment to be happy with your family. So one of the ways that you can do that is by doing a Ramadan challenge with your family. And that is also one of the resources that I would like to share with you during this mini workshop. It's a very simple challenge, actually, because you're gonna first print this worksheet, and then for each day that passes, you are going to do with your family each of these challenges. For example, at day 1, if you have completed this challenge, you're gonna put a check here. At day 2, you're gonna put a check. Day 3, you're gonna put a check, and that's how it works. So I think that's a very nice way to bring your family together and to celebrate the month together. So first download it, then print it, and I've printed here as well. We're going to do this challenge as well, inshallah, this Ramadan, and you can see here, it's very simple, guys. You just print it and just hang it on the wall. All right. Okay, so that is the third level. Now, what if you are even more ambitious than that? then you can implement something that I call the Ramadan calendar. It's a very fun and very simple way of keeping track of the days in Ramadan. So let's see how you can use this Ramadan calendar. First, you're going to put the names of the days here. For example, because we don't know, of course, the first day of Ramadan, right? The Ramadan starts when we see the new moon. So for example, Ramadan starts on Friday. So then we put here Friday, and then the other days of the week. And for each day of Ramadan that passes, you're just going to put a check. You can also combine that with checking one of your goals. For example, for each day that you pray Taraweeh, you're just going to put a check. And if, for example, there is a day that you didn't pray Taraweeh, then just put a cross. For example, day 5, we didn't pray Taraweeh because we had some work or family responsibilities. So this is a very easy way to keep track of your other goals. For example, for reading one juz a day. That's a very easy way to do that, guys, to keep track for yourself. But what if we want to track more than just one goal? And we are, of course, more ambitious than that even. Then we can implement something that I call the Ramadan Checklist. And that's basically if you want to track more than one thing. For example, you want to track Ramadan, you want to track prayer, you want to track Taraweeh, you want to track reading Quran. And here you see an example of that checklist. And this is just an example, of course. You can also make your own checklist. But this is the resource that I will be giving away as well. For example, day 1, we prayed Fajr on time. Inshallah, prayed Dhuhr on time. Of course, inshallah, we all pray everything on time during Ramadan. So we put everything here a check. And then for day 1, if we have prayed Taraweeh, we put here a check. If we have fasted, because of course there are excuses for not fasting. For example, if you are seriously sick, or if you have the cycle for women, then you don't fast. So then you can put, for example, here a cross for the days that you didn't fast. And for reading a juz as well, you can do the same for all these things. So that's a very simple way to hold yourself accountable, because here is the thing. This is accountability. We are holding ourselves accountable because you are every day confronted with this progress every day. That's what I found working for me and also for other people. But of course, only implement this if you are really serious and want to track more than one thing. Otherwise, just stick with the Ramadan calendar. What if you are even more ambitious than that? Then you can implement a Ramadan schedule. By implementing a Ramadan schedule, you are not only deciding what you will do, but also when you will do those things. And this is where things start to get really serious. Because in this step, you are basically going to plan your day. And the best way that I know of planning your day is to plan your day around the prayers. So you're going to decide the 5 prayers, when they are, and then you're going to plan your day around it. And I will give you an example right now. Here we see the 5 days of the week and the hours that we are awake, from 5 until 9 or 10, right? Because that's a healthy Ramadan schedule. Waking up for Fajr and Suhoor, and sleeping after Maghrib and Taraweeh. The first step, you're going to decide when the praying times are. For example, here in Egypt, I'm going to celebrate Ramadan in Egypt, inshallah, this year. It's around 5. So then we're going from 5 until Dhuhr. Dhuhr is, for example, at 12. So then we have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours. 6 hours of the first, basically, chunk of activities that you can perform. Then you're going to look the other between the Dhuhr and Asr. For example, if that is 3 hours, then you have an activity for 3 hours. And between Asr and Maghrib, and between Maghrib and Isha, and after Isha again. So this is the best way of planning your day, planning it around the praying times. Because praying times, basically we should stop with our activities and go pray, right, for the man into the masjid. And that's a good time. It's like an alarm for yourself, these praying times. This is a good deadline to set for yourself as well for the activities. So right now I'm going to share my own personal Ramadan schedule. And this is just for illustration purposes. Zoom out a bit. So this is my Ramadan schedule. And like I already mentioned, Fajr is around 5. So then we do Suhoor and Fajr. And after that, I have my creative work session. So this is basically my deep work. Like, for example, for me personally, that is creating content, building stuff, writing, giving webinars or lectures, doing coaching sessions with my clients, online Arabic classes that I will be giving, inshallah, during Ramadan as well. So that's basically the morning, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours of serious work, let's say. After that, it's time for reading some Quran, Dhuhr, and taking a nap. And after that, time for light work. So light work can be, for example, meetings, reviewing some work, organizational work, answering some phone calls or some text messages, meetings, these kind of activities. That's part of the light work because these require less energy. Because, of course, in the morning, right after you have done your meal, suhoor, that is the moment you have the highest energy. Because in Ramadan, I think the most important thing that you need to manage is your energy. Ramadan is all about energy management. So guys, this is the Ramadan schedule that I plan to follow during this Ramadan, inshallah. But of course, your own schedule is going to look completely different because a daily schedule is very personal. Some of people have family responsibilities, others have work, others have maybe are studying. So making such a Ramadan schedule is a very personal matter, and you just have to find out what works the best for you. How does your ideal daily schedule look like during Ramadan? So this is just an example, and I hope that this will help you to make your own schedule as well. Now I want to cover 3 topics that many Muslims struggle with during Ramadan. The first one is reading the Quran. The second one is coffee. Personally, I struggle with that a lot, and I've been able to overcome that. And the third one is doing your workouts, doing your exercises. So the first one, reading the Quran, what I found out of experience working the best is to read the Quran just before or after a prayer. For example, Salat al-Fajr, between the Azan and the Iqamah of Salat al-Fajr, there is a lot of time. Most of the time, like 20 minutes, maybe even more during Ramadan. And that's actually an excellent time to read the Quran. Another good moment that I found for reading the Quran is just before Salat al-Maghrib. Because let's be honest, guys, most of the time before Maghrib, we are just waiting on the Azan so we can break the fast because our energy level is very low. And maybe we're just wasting our time. So this is a very good moment to read some ayat or some pages of the Quran. Another struggle of mine is drinking coffee. Because in the past, I have tried to go cold turkey and not drink any coffee at all during Ramadan. That didn't go very well. I got like withdrawal symptoms, headache. I was not able to focus. So that was very difficult. And that's when I decided to just continue with drinking coffee. So what I do, during suhoor, I drink 1 or 2 cups. And during iftar, I drink also 1 or 2 cups. And this might be bad advice because coffee actually dehydrates your body. So that's why during iftar, I drink a lot of water after drinking coffee. Maybe half a liter until 1 liter of water after drinking my coffee. So that's how I approach it. And another small tip, side note that I have for you is to bring, if you go to the masjid for Taraweeh, to bring a bottle of water with you so you can drink in between rak'at to stay hydrated. I think there are 2 big challenges during Ramadan. The first one is energy management. You have to manage your energy very well. So the first one, 2 challenges, Ramadan challenges. The first one is water intake, and the second one is energy management. So to get enough water daily, just make sure that you are continuously drinking water when you are allowed to during iftar and suhoor. Between iftar and suhoor, you are just allowed to drink water. Take a lot of water during that time. And the last one is doing workouts. So how I approach it is just by keeping my workouts very light and very short, 20 and max 30 minutes of workouts. During Ramadan, we are just focused on ibadah and focusing less on exercising our body. So that is with regards to Ramadan schedule. Now the last level is Ramadan journal. And I only recommend this for people that are very serious about motivation, discipline, and already have a lot of experience in the past with regards to making plans and personal development. I'm going to share also one free resource, the Ramadan planner, that you can use, inshallah. So how to access all these resources? You can click the link in the description, which will bring you to a page like this after you sign up. And then you can download all the free resources that you want to use. Assalamu alaykum, my friends. Sayyid Bilal here. I just want to say thank you so much for watching this mini workshop until the end. Shukran, terima kasih, dankjewel. Now, if you find this workshop valuable, please share it with one of your Muslim brothers or sisters. So click the share button down below and send it to one of your friends. And of course, subscribe to the channel and like this video. It's going to help me a lot. See you next time. Assalamu alaykum.